welcome to episode 3. Yeah, all the paint work now is done on little guy, or WHEEMS, little fella, whichever. So he's had his gloss coat, all the detail painting's been done on the underside, we're good to go. His legs have all been painted up as well. Everything's worked. I've trimmed down the fibre optics now, and I'm just about to start to apply all the many decals that come with the kit. So once we've got that down, then we'll come back and we'll take a look at the final thing, let the decals set in, and then I'm going to clear coat them. I've run out of flat coat though. I do have acrylic coat, but it's through the airbrush, and I don't know whether or not it's going to make a mess or not of it, but we'll see. So yeah, I'm going to go off and apply some decals now, and we'll be right back. And welcome back. So we've got all the decals down now, and what I used for the gloss coat was my sisters had been using this, and they've only used a tiny bit of it, and they gave me this plastic coat. This thing, after I sprayed it, was like a mirror. It was that shiny, so I can't wait to actually use this spray on a car, because it should give it a really good look. But if we take a look at WHEEMS here, we've got all the detail painting on the legs, underside, which I've shown you that before, and now I've got all our decals in position. So that's looking pretty good. I'm happy with that. We're giving a good coating of gloss as well to seal them decals in. And I've also been to B&Q this morning, and I bought myself, if I can just grab it without knocking the camera, just a tile sheet like this. Unfortunately, they didn't have black and white, which is what I wanted. So I've been spending this morning sanding all these down, and then half of them are going to be black, half of them are going to be white. So that's the next job. I've also cut myself a little base here, which is 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters. Should be plenty to set up some tiles on the ground. Have WHEEMS standing on it, and plus we'll have one, if we could just move the camera a little bit, he'll have one in his mouth like this. So it should look pretty cute once that's done. So I'm going to go off now, and I'm going to just get on with some painting, and we'll be right back. So I've got all the mosaic tiles painted up now, which are good. We've got that nice gloss coat on, so they are relatively shiny. They're pretty good. We've also, if we come around here, it's a lot easier just to take the camera off rather than having it on the tripod. But we've weathered up WHEEMS now, and I've also given him a dull coat. It's still a bit tacky, but should be alright to touch it. Well, it's too late now anyway. So yeah, he's been weathered up and got his matte coat on. He's pretty much finished now. The thing that I'm not crazy about is the white LED that I put in this little guy for the fibre optics. When it's lit, yeah, I'll try and show you. One-handed is never easy. Yeah, come on, there we go, that should do. Yeah, so his eyes are fine, but the fibre optics themselves, there, you've got to like really look for it. There, look. I watched the film last night as well, and it shouldn't even be a white LED, it should be yellow. But never mind, it'll do for this one. I've also gone ahead, cracked open the Gorilla Glue, got an old picture in there, never mind about that, but we've created a nice little base, so all the battery compartment can go inside that. I just want to get myself some textured stone, Rust-Oleum stone, just to do the sides, just to give it some texture really, because with it being MDF you can't really paint it that well. It would take dozens of coats just to get, you know, a layer, and even then it probably wouldn't be consistent. So yeah, textured stone for this I think, which I can't get today, so it might be tomorrow, it might even be the day after, but soon. We'll get the textured stone down, then I'm going to glue all them little tiles there, make a little nice little pattern all scattered around. I'm going to leave obviously bits out because it's junk basically is the ground. And we'll also put a little piece in WHEEMS' mouth there, so he's going to stand nicely on the base, something like that. He's a bit off balance at the moment, but it should look pretty cool. Probably a bit like that there, but you know, a little better than that. I've also gone ahead and drilled my hole for the switch at the back, and I think what I might actually do is, like the General Lee plaque, I might get myself another plaque and just put, you know, batteries not included, WHEEMS, studio scale, 1:1, whatever, something along the lines of that. And that's pretty much as far as I've got so far. I just need to, like, he's finished. He just wants mounting. I only have to put like a peg on his foot there, drill through here, get him glued and secured. But I mean, obviously that'll be done once all the tiles and what have you has been put down. But yeah, pretty quick build. I'm actually looking forward to doing another one. Really, I'd like to do the whole family if I could. That'd be quite a cool little diorama. I think you could have like the 3 droids, and then you'd have mum and dad flying in the air with all their lighting effects going on. It'd be pretty cool, that, I think. But yeah, WHEEMS is pretty much finished. We just need to, I need to crack on with this. So, word of warning, this is a golden armour, this kit. Now, if you do build it, the decals, make sure you scan them and print off your own decals, because as you can see, it's got like 3 layers of clear on here, but you can still see the film on it. Some of them aren't so bad, but when I was doing the decaling on it, they're that thick, it's like clear styrene. It's really thick decal paper, and you can see when I've weathered it on the side here, this orange one here, it was already sealed, but you can see where paint has actually gone under the decal, so it hasn't even laid down, because it was a massive effort. I had the micro set on, and also the microsol, and I literally had to pin down the decal to the surface for a good 2 minutes at least, for that to stick down and then run across the decal to get it to sit flush. This one's particularly quite bad. There you can see there, look. So yeah, print off your own decals, and yeah, they'd be a lot better, I think. But apart from that, it's alright, you know. I'm happy with the way that it's turned out. Although watching the film last night, I noticed that this blue panel here, it's not as blue as that, but you know, it'll do for this one. It was only to fill in time while I wait for the glass for the General over there. So, and unrelated, but the HMS Victory as well. The effects board should be ready next week for that, so we'll be getting on with that soon as well. But anyway, let's get back to WHEEMS. So yeah, stone texture to get for this, and then once that's applied, I can start doing all my tiling and all that good stuff. And we're back. This is pretty much the dio as I've got 2 now. So I've just been out and bought some Gorilla gel, because I'm going to glue all these into position. But before I do any of that, I'm going to be using some Rust-Oleum stone just to give a nice texture to all of it. Plus it'll give the glue something to adhere to, because MDF, even though I've scuffed it up, it's still rather smooth and the glue probably won't really stick to it. So I've got me, sorry if I lean over there, but Rust-Oleum stone, so I'm going to give it a good coat all over the base. But he looks pretty cute there. He's got his little tile in his mouth and that, so we need to glue that into position. So yeah, I'm going to go off, give this a coat of stone, then we can start thinking about gluing these down, because this stone takes a while to dry, but it's a nice warm day, so I'm hoping that'll speed up the process. So we'll be right back, guys, with that. So now we've got the base all covered in stone, and I've gone ahead and painted it white, so the stone was that colour there. But yeah, we're waiting for that to dry, which looks like it pretty much is, and then we can start gluing our tiles on, and then we can start weathering it up. So we'll be right back. And welcome back. So the base now is pretty much done. What I used was the Gorilla Gel just to glue down the tiles, and then taking my Vallejo putty, which is over here, this one with the applicator, just did all the grouting that would be there. It's got a gloss coat on now. It's also painted underneath as well. So I've got clay, which I'm going to be doing a wash, burnt umber, another wash, and also some sand. And then we'll just get all them mixed up, start scuffing up the base. I've also put a pin on little guy, WHEEMS, whatever you want to call him. It's only a little plastic one, but it should be adequate enough to just pin him into position. And I've also glued the tile into his mouth now, so that's all good. So after all the washes are done and I've applied a dull coat, then I'm going to do some pastel work as well to further mucky it up, put loads of dust on it and what have you. So we'll be back after the first wash, I think, and then we'll see how we're going. So we've got the clay wash down at the moment. I'm just letting that paint dry up. Then I'm going to do some burnt umber, and then just a black wash after, just to darken everything up so it's not so bright. And then we'll have to repaint our sides white. I don't know whether I'm going to weather up the sides or not. I might keep that pristine, because I'd like to get a plaque for it, I think, at the front. So we'll be back as soon as the washes have all been finished and it's clear coated. So catch you in a bit. So we've got all the weathering done now. It's been flat coated and sealed in, and we've also weathered up WHEEMS' little jobby there as well. So he's pretty much ready now to be glued to the base and all the wiring. I still need to wire up my switch for the back, which is just a push switch, and also the battery box as well, which needs to be installed. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet. I was going to put a bottom to this, but then it gets a bit... Ooh, I just dropped the battery thing. That's helpful. I was going to put a bottom on this, but then it makes it incredibly difficult to replace the battery, because you've got to leave a big enough area for you to actually get your fingers in to do it. So I might just leave it all open really, and then you can just lift it up and you've got loads of access, and I can just use a glue gun to tidy up all the wires and then out of the way and neaten it up. But that's pretty much it. I'm probably going to leave this overnight to set up, and then I'll be back tomorrow where I can start wiring and get him on the base, and then that'll be it. I think that'll be the last segment to this video. I'm not quite sure how long this video's gone on for, to be honest with you, but it's probably quite a long time now. So yeah, we're back first thing in the morning and get him glued onto the base. And welcome back. WHEEMS is now glued down into position. All the wiring's been done. I'm just going to let this glue set up overnight. And also what I've done is I've ordered a little brass plaque to go there, which says, you know, batteries not included, WHEEMS A.K.A. little guy, studio scale. I think that's what I put anyway. But that's not going to be until like the 25th. So I'm going to wrap this update here. So we've pretty much finished. Everything's weathered, is in position, the wiring's all connected. I've got my switch, where is it, there at the back, and I've also put a bottom on this now as well. So yeah, we'll call it on this one, and we will be back once the plaque's here, and then I can also get the felt on the bottom, and that should be it then. WHEEMS is finished. It's just touching up the base and making sure that's all neat and tidy, But if we have a quick look, don't want to move it back too much because I have just glued it. So we've got just a simple switch at the back, and also put some styrene on the bottom, but that's going to get felted once that's all set up, so it all wants leaving overnight. In fact, what I'll do is I'll go up, I'll try and get a battery in and we'll take a look at him all lit up. And there we go, in all his glory. It's the darkest part of the workshop I could find because I've got windows everywhere, so it's a bit difficult. But yeah, it's throwing out loads of light, and in person it's not as washed out as that. It looks really cool, really happy with that. So yeah, we'll be back in the final update where we've got the brass plaque in position and it's also had its felting, and yeah, all good. See you then.